First of all, thank you, Nikki. And just a little bit about myself. My name is David Goodall, and I work for Ukash. I worked for Ukash for about 3 years, and I'm currently I look after betting and gaming, and mainly account management and business development in that department. So, just to give you a little bit of background, the title is there, Unleashing Demand in New Markets Using Prepayment Methods. It's also going to actually talk about the need to geo-target payments to certain players, and you'll see from as we continue. So it's just a basic slide to begin with. You will see that it's just for illustrative purposes, the amount of payment methods are available in each country, and it's actually, the trick is finding which one works in which country, and for which section, and for which demographic. So first of all, I don't know how much you know about prepaid, but here's some background. There's around about 2.7 billion unbanked people, which is a huge source. In the UK, which is, as we know, a well-developed payments country, there's 2.8 million people in the UK alone without bank accounts. And as you look further towards Eastern Europe, Latin America, Asia, that percentage increases dramatically. The amount of cash in circulation at the moment within Europe is 840 billion euros, and that's purely cash. Within the UK, 90% of customers fear online fraud, and they also fear they've had experience of people having cards stolen, their PIN taken, and also their cards cloned. 50% of customers don't shop online due to fear of fraud, and it's estimated over 1 billion retail sales are lost through poor conversion on websites alone. So, obviously, we're talking about conversion. And as you know, being affiliates, there's a various key factors that affect conversion. We know it's strength of offer, so the strength of the bonus or the strength of the merchant you're taking them to, website design, merchant link landing page, keywords. Country of origin of traffic is important. It's okay if you can drive traffic from certain countries, but the problem is once you have those players, how do you get them to sign? Secondly, and probably more importantly, how do you get them to deposit? And once you take a player to a website, it's very important that there's local payment methods available. And I'll go on to speak about how you can ensure that when a player does get to the website, they know how to use a payment method already. They may have already pre-bought a card, or they may have already pre-registered with a wallet, fully in the mind that they're going to be converted and play immediately. So, prepaid and certain payment methods in certain countries will give you the ability to convert players that haven't already been converted. If you imagine that there's debit and credit card players who are currently playing, what you can have access to, and as an affiliate who educates a player who's not usually or hasn't deposited previously, is that if you can tell them how to use a prepaid product, you're looking at a whole new demographic, a whole new untapped resource that hasn't previously been able to use online methods to gamble. So, as I said before, in the UK, there's 2.8 million people unbanked. Potentially, there's 2.8 million people out there who can't make a deposit on a website, who want to make a deposit, and by giving them an option of prepaid products or to how to use a wallet, a cash loading wallet, they can use that, and they're new players. There's huge demand for the prepaid in Latin America, in Russia, and we'll go on to see some case studies for Russia and Argentina later in the presentation. And as I said, the bottom point, by tutoring players, affiliates, if they can provide details of payment options, links to sites, education tools, videos, they can tap that previously unconvertible player pool. We have case studies that we've actually worked individually with merchants and affiliates, mainly merchants on the direct marketing side and through email marketing. And they've increased conversion by, in certain cases, up to 75%, purely by not only contacting a player with a sign-up bonus and with information, but also providing details about how they can make a deposit. Sometimes what we have done previously is to run promotions where a merchant will say there's a shop 200 yards down from your door, this is how you can buy a Ukash voucher, this is how you can buy another prepaid product. They walk down, buy the voucher, come back, and they're ready to play. It takes a lot of the apprehension from a new player. For example, they maybe don't want to use their credit card, they've never bet online, they're unsure. That first step is the difficult step, and by having a controlled spend with a prepaid product that has no personal details on there, they're able to make that first step. And we do find a lot of our players actually make a first step with prepaid cards and then subsequently move on to debit and become recurring players through debit and credit cards. So in that way, it's a great acquisition tool for merchants and affiliates alike. And the way affiliates can actually help to convert these players is to provide correct messaging. Simply, if you have traffic that's being driven, from Latin America, you can provide them with a list of countries. They can select and see what payment methods they can use and what suits them. For example, if they are banked, no problem. If they aren't banked, or if they live in a remote area, various different reasons, if you give them the options that they're there, but by the time they click through, they know you can convert. And it's tailor-made into each country. Every country is different. What is a payment option in Ecuador may be different to a payment option in Peru. So if those countries that you are targeting, it's essential that the research and the education is done on the player at that initial stage. So just the example there is a YouTube video that Nutella put together to help acquire new players by using Ukash. Ukash is Nutella's exclusive prepaid loading mechanism. So a player would take a Ukash voucher and load it onto Nutella, and then with Nutella they can subsequently use it to deposit elsewhere. So possible ideas: merchant directory organised by accepted payment methods. So if a player is purely a prepaid player, or maybe they have Nutella, the list of merchants that accept Nutella or accept the prepaid product can all be put together. So moving on. So as I mentioned before, Russia is a very interesting market for prepaid. It's got some very interesting numbers, which I'll go on to in a moment. But first of all, there's 45 million internet users out of a population of 142, and 97% of 18 to 24-year-olds regularly use the internet within Moscow. But 95% of transactions within Russia are performed using cash, and 91% of ATM, of card transactions are to withdraw cash via ATM. Recent legislation that has brought in a law to ban casino and slots mean there's an opportunity there for players who previously used cash in these slots or in offline gaming halls. Now have by using prepaid, it gives them an option to take that cash and actually use it online. There's some numbers there. Sports betting has an estimated turnover of 1.8 billion, so we know the market is very big. Recognised payment methods are web money, Ukash, Yandex, RSMP. And the way you would buy your prepaid is from a terminal, and these terminals are used for various different e-commerce transactions, such as bill payments, utility bills. So it's a general process that Russians are used to. There's ongoing fraud problems, which gives the strength of prepaid, as it prevents or can help reduce chargebacks. So when you convert a player, you know that player is converted, and when you accept money, you know the money is basically as good as in your account. Moving on to Argentina. Argentina has an internet penetration of over 50%. The third largest Spanish gaming market in the world, and it's thought to be worth between 2, 3, and 4 billion USD, depending on which sources you take. It's quite hard to check. Payment methods included, again, the usuals: international cards, click and buy, Dinero Mail, Ukash, PaySafe card. And Ukash, we've worked directly with merchants. It's a good case study where we've worked with merchants to inform the players that they can use prepaid methods. So the way we've done it is through a series of emails. So as you see here, this is a location finder. So a player would put in their location, and they will be given their nearest shop. What we have, so it works on postcode, and they can go to one of these shops and buy. So what we've had merchants doing is sending this to their player that hasn't converted, and what they will do is they will enter their details, pre-populate it, so they know there's a shop around the corner. their card may have been turned down. They know it's a 5-minute walk to go and get a voucher. And again, going back to that promotion, we saw a conversion rate of deposited, signed not deposited, of over 5%, and that was from a single email shoot. Now, what we need to think about here is that conversions are missed every minute of every day. And by teaming up and using a prepaid method or a particular country-specific method, players are able to deposit directly and use a method that they're comfortable with. And again, just to say, it's important to remember that these established markets still have potential to use specific payment methods such as prepaid card. And that's basically the presentation for the moment. And I'd like to start up to any questions and specific countries that you want to work through.
Hi, it's Oliver from your casino club. My question is just regarding the South American market. You mentioned it's the third largest Spanish-speaking. Mm-hmm. Which other markets in South America are you looking at?
Are we looking at?
Yeah, specifically.
Well, we're live in Mexico, but we find some of the smaller specific countries have been strong for us. Ecuador is a very good country. Peru, Colombia is also a very thriving prepaid market. And Brazil as well. Brazil is slightly problematic in terms of we have an online offering at the moment where a player can buy a voucher using a bank transfer, which obviously isn't, and we're looking down the route where a player can take cash to a shop and come back. So I would say for us, Ecuador, Colombia and Argentina are very large.
Thank you. And what percentage do you ask?
Sorry?
When somebody buys 100 euros, when somebody buys 100 euros as opposed to a Visas or something, there's a percentages. So what percentages does Ukash charge?
There's no charge for the customer. So a customer takes that $100, hands over and takes the $100 back. When the voucher is redeemed, there is a cost to the merchant. And that is obviously commercial details, but it's something that we'd have to speak about. Sorry? Yeah. Certain countries, for example, there are tax implications in Brazil for removing money, so it would be, and volume as well. It all depends. It's very hard. We could have a chat later, and we could talk.
Yeah, but average amount of like transactions, commissions which you are taking, just average, not chat, just like
the average transactions that we see.
Yes.
Yeah, again, it depends on country, but our average across the whole of the...
Okay, but in Scandics then?
Yeah, across the whole of the gaming sector, you look around about £37 to £45 across the gaming sector. Obviously sector specific. For example, in the UK, we have a very strong bingo market, and our average voucher spend there is around about £20. And we know from research that £20 is, or our average user for the bingo is a lady, a housewife potentially, with 2 kids, and lives in the north of England. So, even though in the UK we have a strong developed market, within the it's very sector specific. So, for example, when we have sports betting, we're looking around about £70 per within the UK per deposit.
But the question was more like commission percentage, your commission. So if someone will deposit from Norway 100 euros, if someone will deposit 100 euros from Norway, what would be your commission from out of this 100 euros of deposit?
Again, there's certain reasons why I can't give you exact numbers, but we have to. The chain is that we have to pay the shopkeeper. There's the terminals that are used as well, which is a fee to those. So, as again, it's not the number I can give you off the top of my head. It depends on country, volume, and various other factors. It depends. Yeah, the question was, is it more expensive than PayPal? I would say yes. Yes. The cost of handling cash is circa 3 to 4%, which in even the most efficient businesses. So there is obviously similar. Mm-hmm.
Regarding, going back to the South American market, regarding the affiliates that you work with there at present, how is the landscape looking for new entrants into that market as an affiliate?
As an affiliate, we tend to find that we're having common people coming to us and they have the same complaint, that they're struggling to get that initial deposit. Players are ready to play, they want to play. It's just actually facilitating that initial deposit. So what we've worked with them is, again, a direct marketing campaign, so they can, or an email marketing campaign, where they can actually educate these players of how to make their deposit. I think the frustration is probably one of the words I would use to describe how they feel.
Which marketing tools do you find are effective in relation to that directly? For example, is it direct marketing, web-based?
Mainly web-based. What Ukash is also part of its business is a promotional voucher tool. So we find that, I'll give you an example of an opportunity in Brazil, where we worked with an affiliate who sent promo vouchers to players with a small $1, $2 voucher. So they took the voucher, signed them up, sent the voucher to them, they were already signed. They take the voucher, deposit it onto the merchant. They get the initial feel of how to use a deposit method, what the process is, that it's safe, that it works. And then accompanied with that, we send a link or a list of nearest shops, and they can take that they can go to the shop, hand over an information card that we send to them, and they will give in a voucher. So it's getting that initial deposit. Once you can get the initial deposit, then the recurrence is quite simple.
In just going back to the subject of obviously your competition and the cost for the user, how do you find that you fare, or what against competition in some of these more emerging markets, and based on availability, cost, recognition, what impact is that having on your business in these markets?
Okay, so merchants see us as, I'm talking from a merchant point of view now, merchants see us as a way to access players that they can't access. Without the prepaid methods, without the vouchering solution, some of these players will never be reached, or can't be reached until cards penetrate further. So instead of waiting for the e-commerce side to catch up, they actually use us to take that and reach these players that they can't normally reach. And within certain markets, again, talking similar to Argentina, what they do is that they take those players that they would never have the chance to use. So it is a necessary that they use a prepaid or cash model.
Hello. Two questions, one question and one follow-up. Can you lock the Ukash vouchers to one specific operator?
Yes, we can. Yeah, that's what we do with the promotional side. Yeah. For example, a tier 1 merchant, I won't use their name, took 150,000 vouchers off us, set at $10 per voucher, and they can only be used on their specific site, and even on top of that, their specific brand. What we can do, the vouchers can be instantly killed if they are compromised. We have velocity tracking, so if they're used by the same person, or they're used in a quick succession by the same person. We have initial forward checks. They can be any value you require, one of 17 currencies, and yeah, so they can be fully locked and fully traceable.
All right. Can you elaborate on the velocity tracking? How does that work?
So, for example, if there's a number of vouchers that have been used by under the same from the same IP or from the same or over and over again from the same person, we have a reporting where we can spot these vouchers that have been used in quick succession. It's part of we're fully regulated by the FSA. It's part of our we have to have this tracking to.
And would you even be able to lock the vouchers to a specific campaign or an affiliate?
Yeah, they can be locked to time specific, so you can have them to expire on a certain date, or you can once you've checked or you think you want to expire them, you can let us know, or you can manually expire them, and they are killed instantly.
But I was thinking about a specific affiliate. If I have an affiliate and I want to make sure that the Ukash vouchers can only be used by a customer clicking the tracker link of that affiliate coming to my operator, can that happen?
I couldn't give you an answer. Theoretically, yes, but we'd have to check. Obviously, it depends on how the relationship is between the tracking and our use, because our reporting is based on the redemption of the voucher.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
No worries.
Do your outlets pay out?
Sorry?
Do the outlets pay out? You say there's 2.5 million people on online gambling that don't have bank accounts.
Mm-hmm.
Could your outlets pay out?
Yeah, they can. What merchants are able to do is to pay out with a voucher. And they take that voucher, and what we have is a prepaid MasterCard. So you take the voucher, the player can take the voucher, which is instantly sent to them once it's passed, obviously, fraud and security checks. And then the voucher is taken by the player, and they can load it onto one of our cards that they apply for, and instantly withdraw cash from an ATM. It's available in USD, Euro and GBP, and that's an instantaneous way of them cashing out.
And you need identification with that. They need to have a bank account.
Sorry?
No. You'd have private card. Okay, you still have to put ID down for that. So if a gambler didn't want to be known as a gambler.
No, the card is an e-commerce card. It's branded with just the general Ukash. It's also used for. We have quite a high percentage of people use it purely for e-commerce. So they take a voucher from a store, load it to a card, and then use it. Again, it's an avenue or a way of facilitating an online transaction. There's a KYC involved to get the card, and that's a full KYC.
And is there a maximum?
A maximum that
payout?
Yeah, the maximum you can pay out is €750 with any single voucher. And the card, I think the maximum you can have on the card is around about it's 2,500 GBP. That is per day.
It obviously costs a percentage to take out on the ATM as well. If you wanted to get your cash out on the ATM, you would have to pay a percentage.
There's just a standard card cost for taking it. It's a single cost for taking the cash out.
Normally around 2% or something like that. If I
think
correctly.
it's a solid value
like
in line with other prepaid cards.
Okay.
If an affiliate wanted to actually work, with Ukash, can they work directly with you, or do they need to go through an operator?
They can work directly with us. That's the reason we are here, because we want to be able to help you guys to convert. And we're not looking for rev share or anything along those lines or anything. All we want to do is to help you build your business, which essentially builds our business. So if an affiliate wanted to work with us, it would be a simple case of we could set up a promotion, set up a tailor vouchers for you, as well as a conversion. And also what we have is on our website is we have a affiliate tools. We have affiliate almost a resource center where you can take information. You can take the where to get location finder. You can take an API scrape of that. You can find our banners, information about what countries we are live, So that all helps with the initial education, and then when it comes to the individual promotions, we can work with you directly with that as well.
Good. Are there any more questions? Are there any more questions? Yep.
Hello. You mentioned before that Brazil was a problematic market for...
No, actually, problematic was probably the wrong word. What I was looking at was that we generally have a cash-based system where you use cash to buy the vouchers. In Brazil, we're just around about a month away from having Brazil fully live with points of sale. So it's not problematic. It's problematic potentially for merchants to remove cash. But what we are able to do, we're able to allow merchants to take a voucher and they can have their cash settled to them standard, and we remove the money from the country.
Okay, David, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Just to let everybody know, lunch is on at 12:30. If you didn't hear the locations previously, it's over near conference room number 1 and at the back near the Bodog stand. So that's from 12:30 to 1:30, and sessions in this room will start again at 1:30. So thanks very much. And thank you, David.